Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANSgear. We're going to look at the Spyder Fenix today. This is an electronic marker, has all the features of most of your tournament guns out there. So it's a great value for what you're paying. You get a lot of gun for not a lot of price. So let's open it up and check it out. Inside here you're going to get your gun, your barrel, very basic barrel, parts kit, some tools, O-rings, Allen keys, ball detents, barrel sleeve. They changed. They used to give you a barrel plug. They can't really use that anymore, so they've gotten smart. Barrel sleeve, and then your manual. Make sure you read your manual. It's going to give you lots of helpful information, just in case there is a problem with your gun. There's a good chance you might be able to fix it yourself, rather than having to go back to where you got it or send it in somewhere. So, the gun itself, barrel, 11-inch micro-honed barrel. It is Spyder threaded, so if you are thinking about getting a different barrel, make sure you get a Spyder threaded barrel, because that's the only thing that's going to go on there. But just for getting out there and getting started, the original barrel is going to work fine. You will see some better improvement in accuracy and performance with something else, but this will definitely work. Features that you're going to see through the gun. This gun, compared to the other Fenixes that came before it, it is, I think it's 20% lighter and 50% shorter, so it's an overall smaller profile setup. A little more ergonomic in your hand, just easier to run around with. Inline regulator right here. It's preset from factory at about 300 psi. They say you shouldn't need to touch that in order to achieve a velocity of 275, 285 feet per second. Should you need to adjust it though, it's adjusted through the bottom right here. This is going to give you your big adjustments, and then your fine-tune adjustment would be through what their velocity adjuster is at the back of the gun right here by turning it clockwise or counterclockwise. If you do have to touch this, it's very, very important that you do it in small adjustments, because that can change a lot inside the regulator. So little bits and then adjust through there. Steel braided line back to your ASA. The ASA is just a standard ASA. It does not have an on and off or anything to it. So it's just a screw-in ASA. Grip frame right here with your saber trigger. It's a 3-point adjustable trigger. The board on the back lets you change all of your firing modes, your eye settings, your on and off, your safety. There's 3 firing modes, I believe, in this gun: semi-automatic, PSP Millennium, and PSP, or ramping Millennium and ramping PSP. They call it Ramp M and Ramp P, I believe. And then it has a rate of fire capability of up to about 25 balls per second. But if you're going to run it that fast, make sure you have a loader on it that can keep up with it. You don't want to be breaking paint or anything like that. Aluminum eye covers, brake beam eye systems. Obviously, if you're going to shoot a gun fast these days, or if you want to make sure you're not just turning your gun into a blender, you have to have an eye system on the gun. Really, really helps out at high rates of fire and just making your experience that much better. The feed neck right here is a clamp style feed neck. It does not have a lever on it though, so you do need an Allen key to clamp this top piece down onto your loader in order to secure it in place and go from there. They say this gun is CO2 and compressed air compatible. Obviously, I recommend running compressed air on it. CO2 can fluctuate during the day. If it's hot, output pressures are high. If it's low, output pressures are low, so your velocity changes. So it's an inconsistent gas propulsion system. So definitely think about running a compressed air system if you can. On a 20 ounce, I believe they said, let me look down here really quick. Yeah, on a 20 ounce CO2 tank, you're going to get about 1,600 shots. It does have the eco valve in there, so it is a very efficient valve system. A lot of shots for a 20 ounce tank. Let's see what else. Quick pull bolt pins. We can pop the bolt out, move that out really quick. The bolt does need to snap into the hammer or the striker inside there. As soon as you pull the bolt pin out and slide the bolt out, because as the gun sits right now, the hammer is under spring tension inside there. There's a good chance that the hammer will rotate just because of the spring tension inside there. So if I try to put this in right now, it would not lock back together. The hole inside the hammer has rotated about 15 degrees or so. So this would not snap back into it. So make sure, if you pull your bolt out, that you always want to adjust your bolt so that the hole in it, or adjust your striker so that the hole in it is sticking straight up and down. That way when we go to put our bolt back in, it lines up properly. If it doesn't line up properly, you go to shoot your gun and the hammer will move back and forth underneath it, but it doesn't hook up to the bolt, and the bolt doesn't go anywhere. Or you ruin your bolt, or you ruin the bolt pin, or something like that. All sorts of potential problems. So make sure your pin locks into your hammer to save yourself any issues. And that's it. Oh, runs on a regular 9-volt battery. You can run the 9.6 rechargeables that came with them at one time. It does have the port for charging, but it does not come with a charger because you don't need to run the rechargeable battery on it. You run a regular high-end 9-volt battery, Duracell Energizer. Nothing that you would find at like Save-On or Walmart or anything like that. Run a good battery. It'll definitely make the gun run longer. So if you're looking for something that isn't too crazy expensive, that does have some of the features of your higher end guns, check this out. This is the Spyder Fenix. It is out of their classic series. So it's like a redo of the older Fenixes. I believe it comes in 2 colors. I think it's this one and maybe a silver gun. But check the website for color availability and order yours now through ANSgear.com.